What's up guys, this is Retro Collector 101 back here with another banger, and in this video I'll be taking a closer look at my personal favorite original DS. So this is the DS that I personally think is the best option out there. I am not going to be talking about the 2DS, the 2DS XL, and the 3DS library, and that's basically because those handhelds are a bit newer, so obviously they would be better than the original DS. So that's what I'm going to be talking about, the original DS. So my personal favorite DS out there, which I think is the best one and the best bang for your buck DS, is the DS Lite. So I'm going to basically be going through a three-step process. Number one being me showing you guys the features that this DS has to offer. Number two being why this is the best. And number three being the things you need to buy day one when you get this DS in your hands. So this handheld actually has quite mushy buttons, but not to the point where it feels too cheap, so it still feels good to your fingers. So I personally like the D-pad and the buttons. They're not uncomfortable or anything like that. I honestly wish they changed it up or added a joystick to the side, since at the time consoles already had an extra joystick, but honestly it's not the end of the world. So if you don't know, the DS Lite did add two new buttons after the release of the GBA. So honestly, it's a good one. It also has two triggers at the back. It also has a nice hefty weight to it so that it doesn't feel too cheap in your hands. Now that you know a bit about what this DS has to offer, why don't we compare it to the original DS and the DSi? So if you don't know, this DS Lite can actually play GBA games. So it cannot play original Game Boy games, just like the DS, but can play GBA games. So that's honestly something that I really like about this system, because it opens you to a whole new library, which has a ton of great games on that system. So now you may be wondering, well, how does this compare to the DSi? So first, the reason why I automatically crossed out the DSi was just because the DSi cannot play GBA games. That's just a no-brainer for me personally. It may have that camera that they added right here, but it's honestly not a big deal. So that's mainly why I separated this from the DSi. Also, this is a bit smaller, so it's more portable and compact for your journeys. Now, the original DS actually does support GBA games as well, just like the DS Lite, but the one caveat is that it just feels a bit old, if that makes sense. So the clamshell is a bit different. It kind of cuts out here, which in turn makes this hinge a bit more breakable. Although the DS Lite also has a breakable hinge, I personally feel that the original DS's hinge is a bit more breakable compared to this one. Now, the other reason why I like this one is because it just looks better, if that makes sense. Also, the shape of it is so much nicer than the original DS. It just doesn't look as mushy. And finally, the last thing that I like about this compared to the original DS is that it's easier to find in great condition, which just, it makes it night and day. So all these things that I just mentioned really set this thing apart from its two competitors. Now lastly, what is the one thing that you should get day one if you have this system? So the one thing I honestly suggest is this R4 cartridge right here. So if you are a hacker, this is perfect for you. In fact, it's like kind of hacking. You don't really need to know much. All you do is basically get one of these micro SDs right here, then download a bunch of games on that, so then you can put it on this cartridge, and then put it in the system. So this can open you to a whole new library of games completely for free. So that's something that I personally suggest to you guys if you don't mind cheating or bending the corner, if you would like to put it that way. Now, games-wise, I honestly suggest just the classic games on the system, or Metroid. All the Metroid games on the system are also great and are totally recommended. If you don't know what Metroid is, it's like Mega Man, but newer, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to explain it. It's more like Alien-like compared to Mega Man, so it's a fun game on the system. Lastly, of course, I need to suggest this. It's Mario Kart, so any Mario Kart game on this system is a lot of fun to play, and it's definitely a must-buy if you have the system. So now I'm basically covering the basic games. Obviously, there are a lot of RPGs or other types of games out there, but I'm just going to be touching on the most common games out there for you to find. Anyways, guys, if you liked the video and want to see more content like this, please hit the thumbs up button and also hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want to see links to where you can buy this, that'll be in the comment section below. And anyways, guys, thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.